Here, we've got some concurrences, but let's quickly see, because a couple of these bills are just cross files and of bills that we've already done on the Senate side, and the House members have good advocates to want to get this. So I don't know. Can we just, Stacy, let's just go through these four, and then we'll go right to the concurrences. With House Bill 700 from Delegate Ivey, it's a cross file of an Augustine bill. Senate Bill 324, very quickly.
House Bill 700, Higher Education, Public Senior Higher Education Institutions, Direct Admission Program and Study. If you recall, this bill establishes a direct admissions program at participating public senior higher education institutions for eligible high school students beginning in the 28-29 academic year. This bill is identical to SB 324 as passed unanimously by the Senate.
Okay, so it's exactly the same as an Augustine bill that's passed unanimously. Is there a motion from Senator Washington, a second from Senator Harris? All in favor, House Bill 700, raise your hand. All opposed? Okay. Similarly, let's go down to House Bill 420, which is a cross file of a Simon Era bill. Stacy, whose bill is that? Devin? I'm sorry, Devin.
House Bill 420, Modernizing Civil Relief for Service Members Act. You all just passed the Senate cross file. You concurred with the Senate amendments or the House amendments to the Senate bill on the cross file of Senate Bill 242. It explicitly authorizes an active service member, an active service member's spouse who relocates to the state due to orders of the service and holds a license issued by another jurisdiction to practice under their license in Maryland. No amendments.
Okay, Senator Simon Air moves favorable. Second from Senator Harris. Discussion. All in favor of House Bill 420, raise your hand. Opposed, motion carries. Okay, these other two bills we've heard the last day or two. Start with House Bill 1621, April, that we heard yesterday from, or thereabouts. Not yesterday, but
heard on Friday. House Bill 1621, wastewater treatment plants, discharges, requirements. This bill requires a wastewater treatment plant that has a discharge permit to process an annual average flow of at least 50 million gallons of effluent per day to, one, maintain a publicly accessible website that includes specified information, and two, within 24 hours after a bypass, overflow, or treatment failure that requires testing for biochemical oxygen demand, total suspended solids bacteria, including fecal coliform, and E. coli, nutrients, including nitrogen and phosphorus, or whole effluent toxicity to begin the required testing. There is an amendment that was passed around on your desk. The amendment was at the request of Baltimore City, which is the entity most affected by this bill. The amendment simply says that if any requirement of the bill conflicts with a requirement included in a permit issued by the Department of the Environment to a wastewater treatment plant, then the permit requirements would take precedence.
Okay, Senator Washington moves the amendment. Is there a second?
Question.
Yeah, from Senator Attar. Question for Senator Sumner.
Yeah. What would be an example of that? Where?
I think they're concerned about the possibly interpreting the bill as requiring some sort of notification to happen before what is required under their permit. So that's, they want to say that the permit is ultimately the controlling factor.
The only concern I have is if we put this amendment on, do we have time to pass the bill?
Well, that's.
And I think it's important with these wastewater to get this information. I mean, in my district, we have a big wastewater facility. And so I'm imagining this is going to kill the bill if we put this on here.
I don't think, I think it's the opposite. I actually think with the amendment, the city is, I think it's actually the opposite.
I suspect it doesn't come up on the floor without this amendment.
Yeah. Without this amendment, we're not going to.
Gotcha.
Spoke with Delegate Grammer about the amendment before we received it, after we received it, and he's good with it. So it's my understanding the House will just accept it as is.
Okay, we got a motion, a second. All in favor of the amendment, raise your hand. All opposed. 1621 is amended. Is there a motion? From Senator Washington, a second from Senator Tarr. All in favor of 1621 as amended, raise your hand. All opposed? Anybody opposed? Okay. Abstain from Senator Harris is an abstention. Okay, final bill is the one we heard just today, House Bill 1574 from Delegate Solomon. Stacy, just to refresh people's
House Bill
everybody's mind.
1574, Child Care Providers Licensing and Registration Alterations. This bill makes several changes to licensing, registration, and regulatory requirements for certain child care providers. The Maryland State Department of Education must establish a grace period for the implementation of new or substantively amended regulations subject to certain conditions. By December 1, 2027, MSDE and the Office of Child Care Advocacy Council jointly must review and report to the MGA on the impact of rating reductions for Maryland Excels and experiential education requirements for child care providers. In conducting the review, a report from the Office of Program Evaluation and Government Accountability must be considered. MSD's report must include findings from the review and recommendations for statutory or regulatory changes to address workforce and licensing challenges. There are no amendments.
It's a priority bill for what, MSD and some others, but that said, Senator Washington moves favorable, second from Senator Harris. Discussion, okay, all in favor, House Bill 1574 from Delegate Solomon, raise your hand. All opposed, okay, motion carries. Oh, yes, okay, Stacy?
House Bill 50, General Assembly, Special Election to Fill a Vacancy Office. I think everyone knows this. This is identical to SB 5 as passed in the Senate.
3 years of this body passing unanimously this bill. It's emerged on sine die. So, okay, so the motion favorable on the bill. Oh, I apologize. Yeah, the special election bill that we passed early in
Right.
session.
So is this the one that they changed one of these bills to like try to make where you could redistrict and all?
They said
No.
that, but this one today.
It's clean.
It's
clean.
50 is clean. It's
So it does
just
not have
special.
any of that
Has nothing
Correct.
else
Has
other
nothing
than what
Yeah,
we
just
sent
to
over.
remember.
Sure.
So they did
Yep.
send back the Senate bill with a bunch of redistricting, so we did not consider that. They had the House cross-file clean, and today they are sending us
They
the
moved it.
clean
It's not
bill
in our
that we, the clean version. So there's nothing on there but what we passed in the
wanted.
Senate bill. Okay? So there is a motion
Yeah, so
from
moved.
Senator Kagan, second from Senator Washington. Discussion. Okay, the bill passed 43-1 in the Senate. I think it was Senator Hayes. So everybody on this committee voted for the bill. Okay, all in favor of the piece of legislation that Stacy just referenced, raise your hand. All opposed? Okay, that motion carries. Okay, now let's go to our concurrences. Stacy, why don't we start with you?
65, Election Law, Campaign Finance, Exploratory Committees. In general, the bill establishes exploratory committee in the state campaign finance law. The House amendments prohibit the authorized candidate campaign committee of the governor, lieutenant governor, attorney general, comptroller, president of the Senate, speaker of the House, Senate and House minority leaders, or a legislative party caucus committee from making transfers to the state central committee of a political party or legislative party caucus in the cumulative amount of more than 24,000 during an election cycle. The recommendation is to concur.
Okay, the vice chair moves to concur. Is there a second? Second from Senator Washington. Discussion, questions, all in favor of, what's the bill number?
65.
Senate Bill 65.
House Bill 65?
Senate bill.
I apologize, Senate Bill 65? Okay, Senate Bill 65. We have a motion to concur on the board. Okay, all in favor? All in favor, raise your hand. All opposed? Motion carries. Stacy?
Senate Bill 153, Election Law, Campaign Finance, Entities, Oversight, and Control of Campaign Funds. In general, this bill makes changes to the state campaign finance law provisions governing the management of campaign funds. The House amendments strike various provisions regarding disbursements and alter the duties of the candidates and responsible officers as they apply to the campaign finance entity. As this is a departmental bill, we checked with the department, and they were fine with these amendments, so the recommendation was to concur.
Okay, Vice Chair. Okay, we have a motion to concur, second. Senator Harris, discussion, questions? All in favor of the motion to concur, raise your hand. All opposed, motion carries.
Senate Bill 212, Higher Education, Non-Resident Tuition Exemption for Spouses and Dependents of State or Local Public Safety Employees. The Maryland Fallen Heroes Tuition Benefits Act If you recall, this extends eligibility for in-state tuition at a public institution of higher education to the spouse and children, notwithstanding the state or county of their residence, of public safety employees who die in the line of duty, and it alters the allocation of funding provisions for the Conroy and Cryer Scholarship Program. The House amendments conform the bill to House Bill 3 as passed unanimously by the Senate. The recommendation is to concur.
Okay, Senator Harris moves concur. Is there a second from Senator Brooks? Discussion? All in favor of that particular motion to concur, raise your hand. Opposed, motion carries. Stacy?
SB 420, Public Institutions of Higher Education, Pregnant and Parenting Students, Plan and Reporting. In general, this requires every public institution of higher education in the state to collect data on the parental status of enrolled students and requires all public institutions of higher education to establish a plan regarding pregnant and parenting students. The House amendments strike the Senate amendments and conform it to HB 6 as passed by the House.
Okay. Yeah.
I would like us to recede, and pass this bill, because I mentioned early on that the Ways and Means had spent a lot of time on that one section, and the fact that we struck it was something that, we should have considered.
Okay, so you're,
That's my, and it's my crossfile, right? So that's Kerr, and then I'm the Senate crossfile of that bill.
okay, you talked about concurring and you're talking about receding. I'm just trying to clarify.
So the Senate, when this committee voted for, on the House Bill 6, they added some amendments that would revert the pregnancy plans back to the institutions as they were in the existing law, and it exempted UMGC from the data component part. It's the committee's decision about how it wants to proceed.
Okay, here, let's hold that for a second.
Okay.
What else do you have?
I have two more,
Okay, two more.
actually three more.
Three more, okay, go on.
Senate Bill 597, Higher Education, Maryland Artificial Intelligence Partnership. In general, the bill establishes the Maryland Artificial Intelligence Partnership and the University System of Maryland to develop a strategic plan and coordinate AI initiatives. The House amendments clarify DO-IT's support responsibilities for the AI incubation law in USM, and the recommendation is to concur.
Okay, we have a motion to concur from Senator Harris, second from Senator Hester. Discussion, all in favor of the motion to concur, raise your hand. Motion carries. Stacy?
Senate Bill 672, Prince George's County, expanding access to early childhood education and child care. In general, this bill requires the Prince George's County government to develop an implementation and financing plan to expand access to early childhood education and child care in Prince George's County for children from birth through 3 years of age. The House amendments substitute the Prince George's County public school system for the county government. The committee has received a letter in support of these amendments, so the recommendation is to concur.
Okay, motion to concur from Senator Harris.
Can we put the Frederick salary on this?
No. Second from Senator Watson, or no? Sure.
We had the conversation that was going the other way, to take it out of the county and put it on the school system.
That's what those amendments do.
That's what it's doing now.
That's what the letter you sent the committee said, yes.
Okay. So we got a motion to concur for a second. Okay, all in favor of those very important Prince George's amendments that Senator Watson just described? All in favor? Raise your hand. All opposed? Motion concur carries.
Last one.
Last one, Stacy.
Senate Bill 618, Public Ethics, Members of the General Assembly, State and Local Government Employee Exemption. So the House amendments essentially struck the bill, and they made it a task force. And what this task force is made up of chairs of the Joint Committee on Legislative Ethics, Municipal League, MACO, State Prosecutor, whatever, And then, let's see here. They will examine current provisions of the Maryland Public Ethics Law related to state legislator employment with the state, political subdivisions, and quasi-review current rules related to the state legislator interactions with the state public and political subdivisions of the state and various entities, study the impact of current legislator employment rules on members of the General Assembly and the legislative process, research options to expand merit-based employment opportunities, review.
Stacy, why don't we be?
Just let you
Okay,
know.
Senator Watson,
Yeah.
what do you want to do? Anything or not? It's your call.
This is such a waste of time. And I have no idea what's going through the minds of our House members over there. This was worked on. This had, it was bipartisan because it included the entire Ethics Committee to come up with what they came up with. And now they want to put on a study and include all these other people. You know, I do not intend to support the bill.
Okay. Anybody else want to weigh in? We could do nothing. We could move not to concur. We could do any number of things.
Is it on me?
Well, it's your bill.
Oh, I move not to concur. Second.
Okay, with a motion not to concur, second from Senator Harris. Discussion. Okay, all in favor of the motion to not concur, raise your hand. All opposed, that motion carries. Okay, we'll come back to HB 6 matter. I just want to get, so we're clear. Okay, Devin, what do you have?
Senate Bill 665, Office of the Deaf and Hard of Hearing and Maryland Advisory Council on the Deaf and Hard of Hearing renaming. The bill renames the Office of Deaf and Hard of Hearing to be the Office of Deaf, Blind, and Hard of Hearing. The Maryland Advisory Council is similarly renamed to be the Deaf, Blind, and Hard of Hearing Council. The House amendments add the Department of Disabilities to the council, and that matches what you all passed out of here last week. My recommendation is to concur.
Okay, motion to concur. Senator Harris moves it. Second from Senator Attar. Okay, all in favor of the motion concur, raise your hand. All opposed, that motion carries. April, you're up.
Senate Bill 431, Fish and Wildlife, Endangered and Threatened Species and Migratory Birds Regulations List, Petitions, Essential Habitats, and Takings. This bill makes changes to the state's endangered and threatened species laws and provisions governing the Irreplaceable Natural Areas Program. The House amendments strike language prohibiting certain takings of migratory birds. These amendments simply conform the bill to House Bill 578 as it already passed the Senate and as it passed this committee unanimously. So we should concur if we want to keep them. It's identical to the bill that House Bill 578 as we already passed. It's not about Sunday hunting of migratory birds.
Okay, we got a motion to concur from Senator Harris, second from Senator Brooks. Okay, this is again identical to a bill that we've already passed. Discussion, questions? Okay, all in favor of the motion concur, raise your hand. Opposed, motion carries. April?
That's it?
That's it. Let's come back to the final matter is the HB. So again, just Senator Washington, just clarify, we had a potential motion to concur, a motion not to concur. I mean, just.
So as the Senate Speaker, as we just did, I'm the cross file, and so I am asking the committee to recede from our position.
Option is move not to concur? Is that?
No.
To concur.
Well, no. No.
No,
It would be, there's no receipt, that's not one of the
Okay.
options right now. This is the Senate
Either
bill.
concur
this
or
is the
not
Senate
concur.
bill. It has come over from the House.
Correct. So
So
either
then we would
concur or not concur.
So then we would concur with what the House has said. Okay?
That would be what your position is, yes.
Right. And then HB 6,
We don't have it.
we don't
Now, this
have
is
it.
just the Senate bill, so they've amended your bill. It's back to us. So we have two options on your bill.
Oh, we could.
You either want to concur with the House amendments or not concur.
Concur, I apologize.
Okay, no,
I'm
that's
gonna
fine. I just-
blame the orange
Okay, so
juice.
do you want to move to concur?
I'm going to move to concur.
Okay, and a second from Senator Harris. All in favor of the motion concur, raise your hand. All opposed? Okay. That concludes our work for today and maybe our last meeting for the session. If that is the case, I want to thank everybody for a fantastic, very productive session, and let's finish strong over the last 3 hours. And this meeting is hereby adjourned. And one more congratulatory birthday. This is how she wanted to celebrate her birthday.